I want all of Las Vegas to come and see this. The sets and the costumes were built in Scotland, and then they had a long, long boat ride. We went to all that trouble to bring this beautiful production. Everybody in Las Vegas should come see it. This will be the first time anybody has seen these sets and costumes beautifully designed by Emma Bailey. It's kind of, over the last couple of years, I've been importing some ballets that for me represent the direction I want to take the company in. Both to help the dancers grow and mature as artists, but also to grow our audience. Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, and they're kind of spectacles, right? And this is in that same vein. The difference is that this is ours, right? We own it, and we co-produced it with a couple of other companies, but this will be in Las Vegas for as long as we want it here.
I really dipped into Victorian storybooks for some of it, very illustrative style, honoring where it comes from as the book. And then I allowed myself in Act 2 to kind of push where I could contrast against that. So theatre's about people, right? And like collaborating and finding out about what that team is excited about alongside what I'm excited about is always such a joy. And then you've got all of the reality of that. So I love looking at fabric samples, I love looking at paint colors, I love figuring out how this prop is going to work, and is it too heavy? Do we need to think about like it being a different shape, and being able to have those conversations.
I love very much to doing my very best to get inside the audience's head and to help guide them along to have an experience where they don't have to think, where they can just be carried along and be held in good hands. The heart of this narrative is very meaningful to me. Peter Pan, in my imagining, has oftentimes been played by a female, usually actor. But for me, the story is so much about masculine and feminine dynamics and boys and girls, and how as young people, they relate to one another and figure themselves out. And so I really wanted Peter Pan to be feral. I wanted him to just be like an animal, who had really been living in the wild and whose only focus is that. Wendy, on the other hand, in some ways, it's really her story. She's the character that really goes on a journey. And she's on the precipice of becoming an adult and is really making active decisions around that. She goes on this adventure with Peter Pan as really a last manifestation of her childish adventure. But even in that she starts offering and imposing motherhood. It was really important for me that Wendy's character not be a damsel in distress. She's smart and brave. And then Captain Hook is one of my favorite characters. In some way, I hate to admit it, but in some ways he's like the worst parts of me. And all of us, right? He's the ultimate narcissist, and he's the adult in this child's world, and he only sees everybody as toys of his own, and he's impossible to be empathetic. He only wants the attention. He's a really complex character and a really fun one to work on with the dancers. Every single person that's a part of it is invested in it, right? Even if it's somebody that's in the back of the stage playing a relatively small role, they have to be totally invested in it for it all to work and come together. And I trust this company will do that. For me, it's exciting that it's ours, that it's not not renting it from another company and then sending it back. It's going to be part of our future. I think Vegas audiences should come and see this show because it's a bold reimagining of a story that we all know really well. Listen, anybody in this community, you may think you know what Peter Pan is. You don't. This is a magical production that your entire family will love. This is the Peter Pan you want to come see.